Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. Exciting day today. It's New Brand Day. Okay, New Brand Day is always exciting, but today's New Brand Day, and it comes with just a teensy bit of validation for my store and for myself. What does that mean? Well, the brand I'm going to bring to you today is Zodiac, a brand that's been around since the 1800s, and definitely represents a higher tier, higher echelon of pricing. You know, the entry point's around $800 or so with what I'm going to show you. I got a couple dozen models. I'm only going to show you a few. I don't want to make the video like really long, but the intro might be a little bit long. I apologize. So what's going on? Well, I started this business, 20-something years ago, and I started in the infancy of e-com. Amazon, when I started, only sold books, if you can believe it. They didn't sell anything else. And when I would go to the various jewelry and watch shows across the country, most notably in Vegas, and that's JCK in Vegas, and there was JA in New York at the time. The shows are still around, but they are a former shell of what they used to be. You'd go to a booth of a known brand, and I'd wear my ID like everyone does, and it would say Island Watch, Mark Frankel, Huntington, New York, and the person would say, "Oh, Huntington. I've been in Huntington. Where's your store?" And I'd say, "Well, I'm online only." And then if they had a hearing aid, they would have clicked it off because e-com was not the future of retail. And I believe a lot of these brands actually believe this up until not too long ago. So over the years, I've obviously brought in more esoteric brands, especially when I was starting out, because that's what I could get. But then over the years, I've got a little more notoriety and carrying more brands that people do know. And Zodiac for me represents the next step up in getting brands in store that are a little bit nicer, a little bit more refined, and represent a little bit more of a higher-end jewelry store experience. That's about it for my yapping. For my own wrist check, I am wearing the Bayport Root Beer, which was sold out. But I'm showing you because it's coming back. Its Gray Friend is coming back, and then a few more really cool colors are coming back. Should I tell you? Okay, I'll say it. A white, a yellow, and a purple. I think they're going to be awesome. And on my other wrist, the very rare Damasco D-Sub 50, which was announced a couple of years ago, and I think I've only been able to get like 4 or 6 pieces in the past, and they all sold out really quick. Hopefully one day I get them back because it is a killer dive watch. Speaking of killer dive watches, Zodiac. So I'm going to show you 5 Zodiac. That was 5. 5 Zodiac watches. 1 Olympus, and then what do I got there? Got a bunch of divers, including a GMT. All of them are autos. Everything you're going to see today is going to be an automatic. But I think I'd start with this because it's certainly something different, and it's certainly something with a ton of history. So this is the Olympus automatic Swiss-made watch. You notice immediately the asymmetric manta ray case with the crown up at the 2 o'clock position. Really, really cool looking, really gorgeous, nice, elegant dress watch. Really, it clearly looks vintage, but obviously it's new. Just a sharp looking watch. You notice all the watches I'm going to show you have as much of the plastic on them as possible. Really, I just remove plastic from the crystal. Because they are pricey, I don't want to de-plastic them. For obvious reasons, because these are all going to be sale pieces. So let's get started here. So this is model number ZO, I should say, for Zodiac 9744. The Olympus comes in a couple different variations. It's just one of the varieties that I'm carrying. It is a 30 millimeter case in diameter. It is 10 thick to a sapphire crystal, slightly domed. All the Zodiacs have dome crystals. We're looking at 45 millimeters on the lug tip to lug tip. It is a 20 millimeter strap. This comes paired on a beautiful matching blue leather strap. Nice tie-off stitching at the top. And of course, a signed brushed buckle. Let's see, water resistance is 50 meters, and the weight is 53 grams. So it is a relatively lightweight watch. It is a really nice watch. Price is $895. It runs on an STP movement, STP 1-11 movement, which is a 26 jewel movement hand wind tax. It's kind of just another one of those movements that developed as a result of the Swatch Group not having, not selling movements outside of its its own monopoly. Excuse me, I thought of its own conglomerate. See at the top, Zodiac Olympus automatic is written at the bottom, and the date, instead of being a match, the date is done in a little bit of a contrast, kind of a ocean blue, turquoise, if you will, and the numbers are in white with a matching second stamp. Beautiful baton markers, silver hands. I'll do loom at the end on everybody because some of them, I believe this guy does not have loom, I'm pretty sure. Some of them, they all have different looms, so I'll just go through the loom at the end as well as the wrist shots. So this is your Olympus. Next up is the Super Seawolf World Time Automatic. This guy's going to run on a Soprod C125 movement. Again, just like your Sellita SW330 or your ETA 2892, this is going to be your classic GMT movement with fourth hand. On this model is represented by the red GMT hand, currently pointing at around 440, 450 or so on the GMT scale. You're looking at a watch that can track, I guess, 3 time zones. One time zone through the use of the silver hands. So we're looking at 450. One is the red GMT hand pointing at the black chapter ring that's got 24-hour increments. And then you also have a bi-directional, it goes both ways, see? Bi-directional city bezel. London, Paris, Cairo, your standard cities. And then you can use that to point your hand to your third time zone if you wish. Okay, so Soprod C125 movement. The case, beautiful, 40 millimeters. Perfection on size. I love 40. 40 is really nice. Can't believe how many watches I sell as a store in 42 and 38. And people are like, does it come in 40? 2 millimeters does make a ton of a difference there. 13.6 millimeters thick to that domed sapphire crystal. 48 millimeters on the lug tip to lug tip. Let's see, solid screw down. Whoops, there you go. Solid screw down case back. I think you can see it there. Is a 20 millimeter bracelet, solid link, solid end link. And you'll notice that the bracelet actually you can remove easily without tools. It's got the little, what is that, quick release pins on them. What else we got? 200 meters of water resistance, 151 grams. Notice the bracelet is definitely old school as well. So it is your standard, kind of 3-link brushed bracelet, but you notice the inner link is certainly much thinner than on your normal 3-link bracelet. What else we got to stare at today? It's articulated very nicely at the last end link. I did notice this about all their bracelets. I'm not, obviously it's a female end link. It articulates wonderfully. The clasp is beautiful, signed with the Zodiac symbol. Fully milled, four position of micro adjust. There is no diver's extension, but it looks awesome. So let's unscrew the crown for your 200 meters of water resistance. You will pull it out 2 clicks and you can change the time. You'll notice as I change the time, this is a caller GMT or an office GMT. That red hand revolves once per day, whereas the hour hand will rotate twice per day, right? And then when I pull, let's even out the hands to make it look nice. And then when I pull the crown out 1 click, one direction will change that GMT hand in 1 hour increments according to the outer scale. As you can see, it's clicking into place. It's a soft click, but it is clicking, and then the other direction will change the date. Come in a little bit on the dial for you. Looks really nice. Signed crown. Beautiful, contrasting red bezel with that red hand. Very nice looking watch. The use of the square markers kind of gives it more of a vintage feel. Gorgeous. Price. Most important thing, well, maybe to some of you, $1,795 for a Swiss-made automatic GMT. So I would say when this watch came out, a year or 2 ago, maybe even more than that, maybe one of the watches that Zodiac became famous for, at least in my eyes, these kind of very playful, vibrant colors, the green, the pink, So, excuse me, the pink, the green, the orange. It really looks awesome. This is the Super Seawolf. This is the Pro Diver. So Pro Divers are a little bit larger than the regular Seawolves, or the regular Super Seawolves, if you will. It is 42 millimeters in diameter. It's 14.2 thick to your domed sapphire crystal, and it is 49.5 on the lug tip to lug tip. So inside here, instead of an STP movement, we have a Sellita SW200 that is, if you can read the bottom, it is a chronometer certified movement, a COSC certified movement, so it is -4 to +6 in all positions under variations of temperature. So the movement has been certified. It comes with a chronometer certificate, all that good stuff. Screw down case back, lovely Zodiac symbol. 20 millimeter bracelet. This is a 7-link, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7-link brushed and polished bracelet. Again with the negative end links. Nice clasp. This is a double push button clasp, as you can see. I believe it is sized with pins. Kind of surprising. You'd think you'd see screws, but you don't. You see pins, and as you hear the plastic rustle, like I said, I'm not going to de-plastic a $1,700 watch because that's how much this one is. $1,695. Beautiful hands. The orange hand being more prominent, that minute hand for diving, certainly the most important. The diver's mark on the dial tells us that, yes, it is, 300 meters of water resistance. That's fine. That's great. But because it says divers, we know that it is an ISO 6425 rated diver, which means it's actually been certified to 300, and they got to go 25% over, right? So it's actually gone up to 375 meters on a water test. Every individual watch must be tested for ISO 6425. So this watch that you are looking for was tested, that you are looking at was indeed tested to 375 meters of water resistance. True diver's tool. Unidirectional rotating bezel. Very, very satisfying. Very solid clicking. You can hear it. The colors are beautiful. Silver sunburst dial. So much about this watch is just absolute perfection. I love their play on colors. Weight is 166 grams. Moving on to the Super Seawolf two-tone. It is two-tone. I'm going to hit it to the right here so you can kind of see. I have a card, a white card bouncing off, so you can see that they are gold hands and markers. I look at this watch and I think vintage. I don't know, like 80s tag. Anybody with me? That's what I kind of think about. So this is another automatic. This is an STP 111 movement, 26 joules, hand winds, hack, screw down crown, 40 millimeters in diameter. It is 13.6 thick to that sapphire crystal, 48 on the lug tip to lug tip. Screw down case back again with the Zodiac symbol. Clasp is, again, double push button deployant. Beautiful two-tone bracelet. Just a lot of good look in here. 141 grams, 200 meters of water resistance. So screw down crown, of course. Again, we can unscrew it, pull it out 2 clicks, and we can change the time. 1 click, and we will change the date. The other direction will clearly do nothing. And if I can screw it down with my gloves, I can. I even broke out new gloves for the occasion. I was so excited about this video. Beautifully done chapter ring. It's not white. I'm going to look at it dead on. It's a little creamy. Just matches the whole motif for the watch. The bezel, I don't know if you probably can't see it. That's the problem with filming a lot. So the bezel, you can see here, you don't see much, but when you look at it dead on, you can obviously see the gold markings on the bezel insert. It's not a phantom or ghost bezel. Beautiful looking, absolutely gorgeous. They say the price, $1,495. So as I said, there's probably about 2 dozen or so, maybe a little bit more than that, Zodiacs in the store. Now, I'm just showing you a little, I'm trying to wind this one. Whoops, there we go. I'm just trying to show you a little glimpse of most of them so you can kind of get a feel for what we're looking at. So this is the Super Seawolf 53 compression automatic. I wanted to show it to you because it's a black case. It's a PVD or IP case. And it's on a nice vanilla scented rubber strap, a really nice rubber strap, as it were. Zodiac signed and everything. Reminds me Reminds me of an ISO frame, but a little bit lighter weight, not as thick. I guess more fitting of, the watch itself, a 40mm watch. Look at that crown. Look at the nice orange accent on the crown with the Zodiac symbol. So this is a STP movement. Change the time. One click out will change that negatively done. Whoops. There it goes. That negatively done date at the 3. Super Seawolf is written in orange on the bottom of the dial. The dial has a little bit of texture to it. It's definitely not smooth. Somewhere between sand and smooth. Let's see, what else do we got? Automatic 200 meters. Lovely, 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 lovely. The bezel is done in black as well. And it's a nice 120 click unidirectional ratcheting bezel with a lone loom pip at the 12 o'clock. This guy is $1,195, and because it's on the rubber strap, it weighs in at 88 grams. So here's the last one I just showed you, the Super Seawolf compression on the rubber. 40 is like I said, 40 is a great size. I see why people flock to it. Even my own brand, I'm starting to make more stuff in 40 because it really is, I don't know, it's quite a universal size, but beautiful fit, beautiful looking watch. Okay, let's move on to one of the 42mm Pro Diver. So here's the 42mm Pro Diver, definitely a little bit larger than, obviously, than the 40. Still fits me well. I'm a guy that wears 42, 43, 44, 45, 46mm watches, so it doesn't really concern me. Plenty of room on the bracelet if you want to invite some friends over. It could probably go up to about a 7 3/4, but definitely looks great on my wrist. The colors are phenomenal, right? Awesome colors. They just work together so well with that sunburst silver dial. And then here we go with that manta ray case Olympus. That's beautiful. That's your father's watch. I mean, really gorgeous. Definitely reminds me of something my father would wear. My father actually did own a Zodiac. He talked about it often. I never saw it. It was a watch he picked up in the 70s. Then it was ruined in a flood in our basement, I want to say in the early 80s. Some kind of a chronograph. He described it as a tortoiseshell kind of chronograph kind of thing. But awesome, love this. In no particular order, first up is the two-tone Super Seawolf C3 Superlumina C3 Superluminova. Very easy to read. The Pro Diver with the fully loomed bezel. This is the only Pro Diver I showed you. It looks awesome. Check that out. No problem reading the time here. The GMT. Let's see. Mr. GMT is going to suffer from one of my pet peeves, which is, no 12 o'clock orientation. So, not a deal breaker for me, but I don't like that. I feel like, is that 12 or is that 12? Just a little something. The GMT hand is loomed as well. It's pointing somewhere to the bottom right. Everything here looks, otherwise it looks okay. And then, this is that PVD diver that I showed you. Well, the loom is in orange. So it looks really cool, but the downfall to orange is that it's not gonna glow very strong for very long, but it does look super cool, no doubt about that. And this is the Olympus. As I said, no loom. That's why you cannot see anything. And that's going to wrap this one up. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, showing you new brand in the store, Zodiac. Very, very happy to be selling them. Hope you enjoyed looking at them. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Questions, comments, anything else you want to share with me, feel free to put it down below and I will address it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.